We cannot. But he went for the Denny P67 slot again, so he gets Farrier this time, which did way more damage than we needed. Oh, no, 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 no! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, for the first time since the last time, it's that time, right about that time, for your favorite Pokemon challenge and mine. My name is Sebastian Todd III. You may call me ST3, and this is the HeartGold Randomizer Nuzlocke episode 13, lucky number 13 here on the channel. The first series of its kind here on the channel, the first series of any kind here on the channel. So thanks for checking out and hanging out with us. If you are enjoying the series so far, hit the like button down below, not any like button, the like button, and leave a comment. Tell me what you have enjoyed so far, and give me some ideas of what you'd like to see going forward. If you do not enjoy it so far, how did you get to episode 13? Thank you for being here, but leave some constructive criticism in the comments below, and I will do what I can. I hope you have seen from episode 1 to episode 13 the progress in the video editing side. We are still a long way away from where we want to be, but we are getting there slowly but surely each and every time. So in episode 12, we were going to take on the gym. We had some glitches in the game, so we kind of froze where we were, hit save. We had a good long episode to that point, but let's take a quick look at the team as it stands before we head in to face Chuck. We have Vigoroth, our level 31 Vigoroth, Brodicon, our level 31 Vigoroth, easy for me to say, holding the amulet coin with the ability Thick Fat, Feint Attack, Strength, Cut, and Slack off the moves. Then we have Denny P67 with the experience share. This is our Ride Horn, soon hopefully to be a Rhydon, 9 levels away. Runaway the ability Rock Blast, Tail Whip, Stomp, and Rock Smash coming in clutch in the last episode or two. We then have Zombie, our level 26 Dewgong, arguably the MVP of the team. Has gotten through a lot of sticky situations. Motor Drive, which makes it somewhat broken. Headbutt, Surf, Signal Beam, and Icy Wind. Then we have Venus, our starter, the Ivysaur, 6 levels away from being a Venusaur. Not holding anything, has Shell Armor, protects from critical hits with Sleep Pattern, Poison Pattern, Razor Leaf, and Vine Whip. We then have Luca, our level 30 Lucario, holding the Sooth Bell still, Chlorophyll for an ability, Quick Attack, Bullet Punch, Force Palm, and Counter. And then we have a beautiful looking shiny, which is the biggest reason Crimson is on our team, level 30, the Rampardos, Shield Dust for an ability, and then the moves, Endeavor, Ancient Power, Assurance, and Rock Slide. That is the team. We're going to go heal up, and we are going to take on Chuck in this episode. Then we're going to go deliver some medicine. We are going to probably get 3 or 4 more encounters today. We might take on 2 gyms. We will see. So, that is that. And today's episode goes up on Tuesday. So how was your Tuesday? I hope everybody is off to a good start for their week. I hope that there is some fun stuff planned for the end of the week and into the weekend that you are looking forward to. That motivates you to just tackle the week and make it the best that you possibly can. Hopefully some fun stuff out there planned. We are a little underleveled for this gym, so hopefully it's not too big of a deal. If we start running into some issues, we might go grind up a little bit. We'll start there. And as we miss our Feint Attack, here is our episode 13 reminder to always drink your water. Wow, a double Protect Lance. Drink your water. It is important. Recycle the bottles if you are using disposable. I'm in the Yeti today. In fact, once I complete this Yeti's worth, I will have hit my goal for today in terms of water consumption. So this Corphish knows that it's not going to beat us, but just wants to stall out our victory over it. Didn't stall long enough. Behind the scenes, too, right? It's Tuesday as this goes up. It is Monday as I record this. And It is the first day where free agents can start negotiating with teams that aren't the team they had been with. So if you were a Miami Dolphin last year and you want to go somewhere else, why? Take the lowest deal possible, come back to the Dolphins. Let's make us better. But say you want to go to the Rams, the Rams could start negotiating with you today and vice versa. Doesn't count trades like on Sunday when the Miami Dolphins and the Rams completed a big trade. So if you are a sports nerd like me, today is a very exciting day, specifically a football nerd. Today is always exciting. Hopefully, your team has gotten you somebody that makes you as excited for the season as us picking up Jalen Ramsey has made me. I know it drops us from 5 picks in 2013 down to 4, but does anybody really think we were going to get a better player in the 3rd round than we got with Jalen Ramsey? If you don't know the deal, the Miami Dolphins traded a 3rd round pick and tight end Hunter Long to the Rams in exchange for Jalen Ramsey, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. He'll be paired up with another phenomenal cornerback in the league, Xavier Howard. Just a great safety in Javon Holland. We're going to have a really scary backfield, so I'm excited about that. And then never really got to see Hunter Long do much in the Miami offense, but that is okay. He will go to LA and Sean Payton, and they will not Sean Payton. Oh my gosh, what is the Sean McVay? That's who I mean. And probably unlock some of his talents a little bit more, which will be good for him. And then today, the Miami Dolphins have made. I know these are the free agent moves that you guys all want to talk about for sure. They signed former Jets, sometimes starting quarterback Mike White to come in and back up Tua Tagovailoa, and they signed David Long Jr., a 26-year-old linebacker who's played most recently for Tennessee and is on the upswing. And we need some linebacker help, so I'm excited about all this stuff. I know you probably aren't, but I am. I love. There was actually a time where I dreamt of being a GM for either football or baseball specifically. Nothing against hockey or basketball, but those are the 2 sports I follow probably the closest in general across the board. And while I will fully admit baseball is my favorite sport, it's easier to get into like the front office nerdy side of baseball some days, or football. Case in point, the NFL draft, one of my favorite sporting events of the year every year. And a few years ago, I've tracked the draft for a while, but a few years ago I created this Excel spreadsheet where I can just type in all the draft picks into a main page, and then it has little tabs throughout the bottom that will break it down by round and by team. Because I just love tracking those kind of things and saving them. So I've prepped mine for 2023 for the April draft. Excited to watch that. But it's good too. I know that a lot of PokeTubers are big fans of anime. I myself have never honestly really watched a ton of anime, so I've got nothing against it. Just never been something I've gotten into yet. I'm sure there are plenty out there I would enjoy if and when I do watch them. But sports is one of my passions. I know there's a lot of people out there who are very passionate about like Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. There's so many phenomenal fandoms to be a part of, and find that thing that's yours and be unapologetic about it. There's nothing wrong with that. I am unapologetic about so many fandoms: pro wrestling, baseball, football, basketball, hockey, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is my favorite show of all time. So this is not the greatest thing for us to be fighting right now because the fighting type is strong against most of our team. I'm really just kind of waiting, since we're doing nothing with Razor Leaf, for it to wake up so I can put it back to sleep and get a hopefully safe switch. Probably into our own Lucario, because Lucario is fighting Steel. Fighting is super effective against Steel. I think our Lucario, being a higher level, can do some good damage to it, maybe even take it down from where it is. I was hopeful because Venus is the only thing that kind of Resist would be able to do a little bit more damage there, but such is the case, or such is not the case, I guess. All right, that worked out well. Empoleon, Steel, and Water. So we're going to Force Palm that as well. It might have Peck, but it's not Stab, and we're going to one-shot anyway. Never mind. So yeah, other big kind of fun to me news in pieces of news in the NFL world recently is the big trade this past weekend. The Chicago Bears traded the first overall pick to the Carolina Panthers for a first and a third this year, the ninth overall pick, and something like 71 or something like that. A first round pick next year, a second round pick the year after that, and DJ Moore, which is great for the Chicago Bears because they were in just a really good place there in terms of having the first overall pick, but also having a quarterback. So they get some extra capital to go with all of their cap space, see if they can't rebuild. And they've signed a couple of big linebackers today to help rebuild their defense. We also really don't have anything for grass. We don't have a fire type. We have Dodrio level 25 in the box, which we're going to pull out after this fight because that will be our Flymon. It's a bird, so it learns fly naturally. And it might end up becoming a regular on our team. I will say, too, because I don't think I said this in the team recap, but shout out, okay, this gym ended up being pretty easy. We can take down an Igglybuff. But shout out to Porticon and NEP67 and Tanders, who was our short-lived Totodile turned Croconaw turned Deathboxmon. But shout out to the three of you for leaving comments on previous episodes. Leave comments on this episode and in future episodes. I will try to name some Pokemon after you as well. And comment of the day, comment question of the day. Who is your favorite football team? Mine is the Miami Dolphins. Always has been, always will be. But who's yours? And what big move do you think they need to do this, off season or have they already done it to get you in contention for the 2023-2024 NFL season? And as we often say, if your mom is calling you in real life, if it's at all possible, answer the phone. But in the game, here she's really just calling to tell us that she bought us something else with our money. And we'll find that out the next time we go to a Pokemart. And before I forget, too, I will point out that there was an Arceus in that gym, which means we have faced a legendary in pretty much every gym we've gone into so far. So I'm going to move some of the mons that we've trained up to their own box because if we need them, they'll be easier to find. And while I love the Shiny and Crimson, and he knows Rock Slide, Rock Smash has been doing great. Not Rock Smash, Rock Blast has been doing phenomenal on our Denny P67. And we will use the flying type for the time being, so we will put Crimson in the box. And that's the only fire type we really have so far. And we don't, I think at the very beginning of this series, we sold the Magmortar, the thing that makes it a Magmortar from a Magmar, so I don't want to necessarily spend a lot of time training up a Pokemon that we're definitely not going to use. I mean, not that we never would, but it just seems highly unlikely. And I don't think we've actually gone in here to get the medicine. So that's why I mentioned that I kind of play it in similar in terms to like a Nuzlocke, and I try not to duplicate typings on my team. So as in a Soul Link, you try to have different typings of the Pokemon between the two teams. So if I catch water, you know, my Soul Link partner couldn't catch water, that kind of thing. But in cases like this, I just always assume that or associate some of these normal flying types as just normal or just flying types. I think it's unfair that so many flying types, especially in early gens, um, just kind of get lumped in as normal too. I think they should have just been flying type and nothing else. So that's one reason. I mean, there's no set rule that we can't have duplicate typings. It's just like a best practice kind of thing that I typically stick to. But in this case, that's kind of one way that I play the game anyway. So even if there was some kind of rule that might be a caveat or exception, kind of like the Dragon Rage rule. If you get hit by Dragon Rage and killed before the second gym, I've seen a lot of Poké Troopers do something like that. But there's no rule. There's really no rules in this except the typical Nuzlocke rules, right? We catch the first Pokemon on the route. We nickname them all. If the Pokemon dies, it dies, and that's it. And that's all. And then of course there's the duplicate and the species clause. So dupe species. I don't really think we've encountered much of that yet in this run. So we've dropped the medicine off. We're gonna walk outside and we're gonna get a phone call from Dr. Boba. Balboa? Boa? Balboa? Something like that. Kind of like Rocky Balboa, but not. I think it's Baboa. Bayoba? Bayoba. It makes me think of the animated film Road to El Dorado. To Shibolba? To Shibolba. So let's go to Shibolba right now. We will fly back over there and we will get ourselves some more encounters. There are, let's see, 3 encounters we can get over here. 4 encounters we can get over here. One of them is difficult because it is the park. So we really just open a prayer in that instance. It's amazing how much I mess up when I'm not on speed up. In terms of entering a building, entering the cave, entering anything. But I find a way to mess it up. I often joke that I can make anything look difficult, including playing Pokemon. I think that's the fun of watching people play Pokemon, though. I think there's kind of two things, right? Especially when there's like an interactive series between 2 or more creators, the camaraderie is important. And then like the podcasting sounds. Is this a string on the hat? That kind of feels like it might be something else. Who knows? But it'd be nice to have Alexia right here. Electric type move would be very super effective against this tentacle. But that was our first step. It's an interesting cry. Also, a couple of, not a ton, but a couple of items here. Ooh, Walrein would be fantastic. One of my favorite ice types. Be nice to get, a pretty good item. Something like, I don't know, maybe a lucky egg would be nice. A master ball's always good. I think too, we get 4 encounters coming up. One of I don't know that the park ever really gets randomized, so I think we're just stuck with whatever we encounter there. But for the other 3, typically I would say something like Blaziken, one of my favorite fire types. That would be nice to have in terms of fire type on the team, but we already have a good fighting type. So maybe, something like a Charizard. I like Charizard. I think Charizard gets a ton of hype. And sometimes I almost feel Charizarded out. Um, oh, that's not what we want. We want the fishing rod. So I've got nothing against it. I just, typically prefer something like a Typhlosion or maybe like I said, a Blaziken. But in this case, a Charizard might be really great to encounter because we get the fire and the flying type and kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That is not a Charizard. That is far from a Charizard. I don't think probably will kill. Oh, it won't kill. So I don't think it'll kill. It's a pretty weak move. It is stab. We are 12 levels higher, but if it did, it did. Not going to lose any sleep over missing out on a Finneon. Nah, it's revocable. Not worth a great ball. Lumineon is a fun kind of word to say. It's a decent one, but not great. Really, if we end up rocking out like a Lumineon on the team, it means something dire has happened to a couple of our other water types, specifically Zombie. I'm going to throw the Great Ball. Just one. If it kicks out of this, we'll go back to Pokeballs. But I really want to stick. So I really don't want to kick around here too long trying to get this. I'd rather just be done with it, put it in the box, and on to the next thing. Yeah, if we end up rocking out with a Lumineon later in this round, that means something has happened. But because it is Lumineon, Neon, and Luminescent, and all that fun stuff, I often name this Vegas because of the bright lights of Las Vegas. So we will send Vegas off to the box, and we will come in here and see what our next encounter will be. This is all Cliff Cave, all 3 levels, so there's no difference between here, but I don't know. Try to get nearer to the exit than the entrance. We're getting this. This is a great potential flying type for later. We definitely want this. Future Salamence is not a fire type, but it does learn fire moves and can learn more. If Cut didn't kill a Lumini or a Finneon, it shouldn't kill a Gible unless we crit. So no crits, no crits, no crits, no crits. Beautiful. We like to see that. Now the bad thing is that it created a sand. No, this is ground too. I think at the moment. I think it itself is ground. It is. This is wonderful. We'll bring in Venus. We're going to put this thing to sleep. We're going to chuck an Ultra Ball or several. Because with 55, I think, which is a long time. Ooh. Dragon Rage. Now, what's sad about Dragon Rage is it means we're going to have to waste a potion here. Because we don't want to lose Venus. We are way past the second gym. We were just talking about Dragon Rage Claws a minute ago. It's going to do 40 points of damage every single time. The Sandstorm's going to hurt us a little bit. I actually think what we're going to do here is we're going to bring in Denny P67 because she can take 2 of these without having to worry too much. We'll still heal. We're not going to risk losing Denny. But the Sandstorm also isn't going to hurt her. So we're going to do that. We're going to heal. We're going to use another super potion to heal up Venus. Because once this Gibble is out of Dragon Rages, we will be able to put it to sleep. But we're going to try to throw a ball too. Why not? Doesn't need to be asleep. We can catch it without. It just makes it easier. Barely shakes once. It's interesting that the Gibble has stopped going for Sandstorm, or for Dragon Rage the moment we brought in a Pokemon with decent. Doesn't even shake there. The takedown will do some recoil to it, but we are a high enough level and we're rock that it's not going to do a lot to us in terms of HP. I almost feel like I should throw Great Balls instead of Ultra Balls here, just in case we have to bring Venus in to put it to sleep. Or we can just catch it on the third ball. That's fine too. We will take that. And we have an experience share, so this... Oh, I'm so smart. I said this was going to be Silence. This is Gibble. This is going to be a Gabite next, and then a Garchomp, which is Dragon Ground. So I'm going to name this thing Hammer, which is what I normally name my Garchomps because it looks like a hammerhead shark, which is one of my favorite types of sharks. It won't be a flying type, and it would probably mean that we have to move Denny P67 off the team because it would overlap. That might be worth it. I think what we're going to do is we're going to record this episode. We're going to finish this one up. We're going to record the next episode. So we're recording Tuesdays and Wednesdays here back to back. It's typically what we do. We record 2 or so in a session. And then between the recording sessions, so between episodes 14 and 15, train up the Pokemon and see where we're at that point. Now, what's difficult about this fight right here, we are higher leveled, but both of these bugs have fighting moves. In fact, Heracross is fighting type. We don't want to risk either of these Pokemon. So I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to target Heracross first. My fear is that he's going to outspeed Denny P67. And if that's the case, and if it counters, I don't know if it has counter yet or not. This is what we're going to do. We're going to see what it has for moves. If it goes for counter, then we know it has it. I don't think it can one-shot either of the Pokemon because we are high enough level on Denny P67 and Bordecon's going to get us to full health here in a second. If both of them go for one of these two, it could take us out, but I'm going to pray against a double team and just see what we can get here. Just kind of scope it out, pray against a double team. There's the Brick Break, which we knew that Heracross has, and he hits Denny P67, but we live this. We live this Denny P67. Now, don't hit us too. Okay, Pinsir used Harden. That's fine. The Tail Whip is going to negate the... Okay. So we're going to strength the Heracross, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out to a Pokemon that is super effective against both of these. Quad effective against Heracross. Inferior. And let's see, with a little bit of defense drop there, can we... we cannot. But he went for the Denny P67 slot again, so he gets Farrier this time, which did way more damage than we needed. Oh, no, 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 no! They double teamed. They double teamed that one slot. So down goes Farrier, just added to the team. Our third death of the run. We have another flying type mon in the back. I don't know what to do here. Denny P67 has the rock move. Nice to have Kratos right now. Have the rock type. I mean, the fighting super effective still. We're going to take out the Heracross. Because Denny P67 has already proven that she can live long as Pinsir doesn't end up critting Denny P67, because Pinsir's going to live. If Heracross endures, guess it is what it is. Okay. It did not. So if Pinsir goes for Denny P67, we just pray for no crits. And it does. Man, they really like that slot, don't they? Nope. Okay. Wow. Ate that just fine. It's not stab on Pinsir, so we feel better about that. All right, we're going to strength. And then we're going to rock blast. Because even if it outspeeds, I think we live another one. And strength might take it down. It's not as good as Heracross. It did not. It didn't even go for Denny P67. We'll tank this. Verticon will tank this. Verticon will tank this. Ooh. There we go. Okay. So not great because we lost our Dodrio, but we just put Dodrio on the team, so it wasn't like Dodrio was in this with us for a long time. It still isn't great to lose Pokemon in Nuzlocke. It feels bad. You feel bad about it. But is what it is. There's a root fossil. We might sell that. We might hold on to it. We need to heal. We don't have a ton of healing items right at the moment either. But there's only one more battle. We need to heal up Broticon. We're going to heal up Denny P67. We got one more double battle. And then we get another encounter. And then we can go put Farrier up. And then we can go get another encounter. Nothing too scary. Okay, Vaporeon and Luxray. Nothing super duper terrifying. I mean, Denny P67 is quad weak to Vaporeon. So we are going to pray that we can take this down. Okay, Vaporeon didn't even go to attack, which is great. So if Broticon doesn't kill this right now, it will definitely kill it on the next hit. I cannot imagine Vaporeon tanks 3 of these. Yeah, okay. Light will do some damage, but we'll live it. Oh, the Stomp might take Vaporeon now. It does. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And now we strength down Luxray, we Rock Blast Luxray, and we just pray for no crits from Luxray onto us, or that it goes for Denny P67. It did not go for Denny P67, so no crits, no crits, no crits, no crits. We made it. There we go. All right. Got through that pretty relatively okay. Then we get another encounter up here on Route 48. We will put in Venus first and foremost, since Venus has sleep powder on it. And let's see what we get ourselves. We already have a Meganium. And we have Meganium trained up, I think, actually to level 20 in the box. It might be a level 25. Just as a backup, heaven forbid something ever happens to Venus. We've seen now a couple times why having some Pokemon trained up and ready to go in the back is not a bad thing. Alright, so Dupe's Claws, we don't need the Meganium. We get Togepi. If we can find a Shiny Stone. This could be really good because Togepi, eventually Togetic, and then Togekiss. Not Fairy type in this gen because that's Gen 6, but a very good flying type regardless. So we will definitely try to catch the Togepi. I don't think Vinewood's going to do much of anything. Yeah. So we're going to Vinewood it a few times here. We'll put it back to sleep as necessary. It'll put us to sleep as necessary. And then we're going to throw the friend ball. This is why we get the friend balls. Because this is a friendship evolution to Togetic. Togetic? I don't know what I was trying to say there. So we definitely want to use the friend ball. We're going to throw one right now. Just to see if we can get lucky. I think we have 4. We do. So we'll start with 1. This makes it friendly. What's Electro Ball do? Electro Ball also makes it friendly. And then we know that. Okay. So we have 5 Pokeballs that will make this friendlier. Let's just try the friend ball. First ball, Bassy, right there. And it will learn Fly as a Togetic, too. So we can replace Farrier as soon as we can get the Togepi to evolve. So that wouldn't be a bad option either. I nicknamed this Rome because Toga, right? Romans wore togas. So we nicknamed that Rome. And shout out to Rome from A Million Little Things, one of my favorite characters on that show. Although, like, all of the characters are my favorite characters. But shout out to Rome for being an amazing human being in that show. I know he's fictional, but just comes across so genuine and somebody I aspire to be more like. Alright, so we will... I said the park, it's the Safari Zone, but same difference more or less. We're going to heal first, then we're going to switch out Farrier. And then we'll get this last encounter, and after this encounter, we will wrap up the episode because I just looked down and saw that we are about 37 minutes into recording. Doesn't feel like we've been going that long, but I guess we have. Alright, so we'll start with this. Sad as this is, it is necessary. We will put you in the death box. We will move you here. We'll move you to box number 2 just because you will be good to have. And then if we can't get Togetic up in a level or so, then we will maybe switch in Swallow just to be able to fly out of here first. So again, I don't think these encounters really randomize on us, but we will take what we get. As much as I've played these games, I don't really have like the encounter tables memorized right here. I know that in some places you can catch one of my favorite flying Pokemon, Murkrow. We can catch an electric type here, if that ends up being our first encounter. We could catch Magnemite or a Magneton, depending in here, but we could also get a Geodude or a Graveler, I think, or a Magmar. We already have Magby, so that would be a re-encounter. And while I love Geodude, it would negate Denny P67, and we don't want to do that. So, of course, I don't think there's a ton of other really good encounters in here. I think we might risk it for an electric type, just to have one in the back. I think that's what we're going to do. Where do the stairs go? Alright. Magnemite, Magnemite, Magnemite! That's right, Magmar, like I said, we already have Magby. This is duplicate. So we are species, whatever you want to call it. And of course, if that's what we were trying to get, it would not have popped up. All right. Magnemite. Magneton. We will take that. Now, this is going to be extremely difficult because this is the Safari Zone. So, we can't weaken it in any way. It can run at any time. I don't ever know what's better, bait or mud. So, we're going to throw mud first. Pray it doesn't run away. He's watching us carefully. Watch us throw this Safari Ball. And let's pray for a catch. 1, 2. No. Okay, stay with us. Give us another chance. Almost had it. It fled. All right. So that's what makes these encounters so difficult. Out of curiosity, let's see over in this section what could we have gotten if we come over here. I think we have Eradicate, so we could have re-encountered. Maybe rats are all that's in here. Abra would have been hard too because it could just teleport anyway, but that would have been pretty nice to have a good strong psychic type on the team. And one level away from evolving. We're gonna torture ourselves and look at every little area in here what we could have gotten. Eradicate. We don't have Eradicate, so it would have been the rat. I thought we had Eradicate in this. Maybe we didn't get it. Maybe I'm thinking of a different playthrough. I'm also playing this for fun in a different on my phone, so maybe. All right. I think this is the last one. Let's just see. If it's Eradicate, we're just going to leave. Sunkern. All right, well, we didn't miss out on anything super duper powerful. We did miss out on the Magneton, which would have been nice to have, but not the end of the world not to. Yes, we're done. Let's take the experience share real quick from Denny P67. Let's give it to our Togepi. And we'll switch Denny P67 into the front so it can get experience too. And let's, I know there's grass types up ahead, so we might not keep her in, but let's see if we can run into Togepi again. Spend the next couple minutes just seeing what our Togepi could be. It is a Gibble, which we should be able to take down. It will outspeed us, or it won't, and we'll miss. Takedown does nothing because we are Rock. That moves slowly. If we hit 4 times, we might be able to kill him one shot. Might take 5. We didn't get 5. That's okay. 105, 105. Let's see out of curiosity. Scrappy is a great ability to have on Togepi. It's got no attacking moves right now. That would be nice for it to keep as it levels up. It's not going to, but that's okay. 1455. Let's see how quickly we can get 1,455 experience points on this thing. Shellos could be a little bit of trouble because it might have some water moves or a ground move that could be super effective on us. But we're 11 levels higher, and Stomp is a pretty strong move that could flinch. So that works out in our favor. Probably be about 80. Oh, 125. Wow, I can't believe it's more experience than a Gibble. we're not really worried about Togepi since we know from having one that it's got no attacking moves of any kind. It can confuse us, though. So we could hit ourselves. But here's hoping that EP67 breaks through. She did not. She did not again. Alright, we had to do a quick pause there in the recording because I saw a spider and I am deathly afraid of spiders and believe that all spiders need to be killed immediately. So I paused the recording real quick and did that. And yes, we're at the spot where I can kind of sort of pause recordings now. So that feels all right. 132, look at that. Togepi gives out more experience points than even Shellos. Now we are quad weak to grass, so we're not even playing that game with Denny P67. We might be 15 levels higher, and we probably could have taken it down with a stomp, but I'm not risking it. Not risking it. It's not worth it. And I'm guessing we couldn't have because if, well, reflect. I know. Good point. But if they got the reflect up before the stomp, too, and I would be shocked if we outsped. A Meganium. 297 experience points there. So that is good. Probably about 7 or so more Pokemon to take down. We will be seeing if we get a Togetic right from the jump. Let's see what his strength would do without a reflect up. A lot more, but not enough to take it down in one shot. And will it be able to take it down after the synthesis? It did not. But we dodged the Razor Leaf. We'll use Cut. Take it down. There's another 297. We'll take a couple more Meganiums. Nearly 300 experience points makes us go a lot quicker. We haven't done a lot of grinding on in the videos here yet. Ambipom we can take down with NEP67 easily. And it'd be nice to not make you sit through a lot of this, but would be nice to just see. Like I said, will we get a Togetic in one level, or will it take more? We use the friend ball, but it might not raise the friendship up high enough. We'll find out in a moment. Ambipom should be decent experience here. Oh, 279. Heck yeah. Let's face more Ambipoms. Starmie. It might have Water Gun. And if it does, it takes us down probably in one shot because we are quad weak to water. Instead, it tried to recover. We couldn't predict that. Or the double recover. It only gets a handful of moves because it is a Stone Evo, so it takes the Water Stone to bump a Starmie up, or a Staryu up to a Starmie. So it might not have a water move. We can kind of scout that out a little bit here with Swift. We don't recover. But again, it's fully evolved. It's level 21, so it should give some decent experience here. Yeah, it does. 310. We will take more of those. Starmie or Ambipom? Gibble, who gives the least amount of experience of all the Pokemon we've so far encountered in this route, but that is okay. Couple of stops, and we're moving on. Ooh, it was enough, though. All right. Do we have enough friendship? We do not. That is okay. So we're going to switch out here in a little bit to a flying type that can learn fly already and get us out of here at least, and then we'll put Togepi right back on. I will do that maybe in between recordings. Maybe we'll do it on camera, but we're going to wrap it up right here on this Tuesday episode 13. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, until next time.